Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong in this one.
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Alrighty then.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Gaming Hub. This is episode number 103. We're here to recap what we just saw in the Bethesda conference at E3 2018, and this is part of our continuing coverage of E3 2018, so welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. If you're brand new to the show, thank you. I know there's a lot of people out there looking for stuff to listen to with E3 going on, so thank you for listening. This one is going to be a little bit different than our normal type of show. So kind of bear with us. We're recording literally like 3 minutes after the completion of the Bethesda conference, so it's going to be a little off the cuff and things like that. And the other way it's different is we also involve our Twitch chat during these, during E3. So we'll be back with a normal episode on Friday, which is the much more like structured, planned out type deal. Anyway, guys, we just saw Bethesda, and by Bethesda standards, it was like some good, some bad, some in the middle. Graham, you are the resident Bobo for Bethesda. So I want to go to you and, tell me kind of your thoughts on what we just saw.
Well, I don't know if it's because we had really high expectations. Like, maybe a lot of it had to do with the leak of Rage 2, which forced their hand. But it seemed like a little lackluster. Like, we did get what we wanted, and the other things that we wanted, we didn't get very much of it, like Starfield, the Elder Scrolls 6, like, basically just like, this is in production, which, not the most exciting thing. Like, we know it's coming, we just didn't know when it's coming, so some people are excited, it's like, oh yeah, it's coming, but we knew it was coming. So, yeah. Overall, not one of their best ones. Maybe they set the bar too high, and they just didn't hit expectations because the bar was so high. But overall, it wasn't too bad. It was entertaining for sure.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I honestly preferred sort of the format they took last year with the theme park, and I know they can't do the same thing every year. Got to change it up, but I feel like they tried to be a much more traditional conference this year, and that's not them. Their best moments are when they kind of trolled us and were being funny, and when Pete Hines or Todd Howard are on stage, it's pretty magical. They do some really cool stuff, and it's fun, and everybody's laughing and having a really good time. I kind of felt when anybody else was on stage, it wasn't as good. So, Steve, I want to turn to you. What are your initial thoughts on this? You are not the resident Bobo here, so go ahead.
Man, if you thought I was curmudgeon-y on some of the other shows, you're in for a real I don't know, treat here. Because, I don't know what it was. I was expecting, amazing. I thought they'd blow Microsoft out of the water, and Microsoft had a great showing. And honestly, I thought EA was better. That shouldn't ever be said, that EA had a better show than Bethesda. So, I mean, Bethesda was putting out at the beginning that they were, having their longest show ever, so I expected to see, games, right? And, we got a few, and we'll get to those in a bit. And, yes, Todd Howard and Pete Hines, but especially Todd Howard, were amazing. But, Star Citizen and Elder Scrolls 6, why even bother? We knew those were coming.
Starfield.
Or yeah. Starfield. I don't know why I keep calling it Star Citizen. Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. We knew it was coming. You literally just showing us the name again on E3. Why?
Yeah. So I don't know, Steve, if I go as far as to say that EA was better. I think I think there's a lot here, and I think that Bethesda was sort of the victim of themselves this time around, because they've set really high expectations for us.
That's true.
Maybe
it's okay based on expectations met. I'll clarify. I'm getting absolutely destroyed in the chat right now. I will clarify. All right, EA had set the bar extremely low, and they managed to barely get over it. Bethesda sets the bar extremely high, and they don't get anywhere close to being near the fall.
Okay, I think they did with some things. I think Rage 2, we were all saying when we were watching it, like, this looks fun. I want to play this, you know. And they kind of a funny moment. They kind of said, you know, a game that we revealed a few weeks ago along with Walmart Canada, and you know, something like that. And that was a good moment. It got a good laugh out of the crowd. The game looks fun.
Yes.
And then they showed off Fallout 76, and we learned a lot from that. We're going to get into that here in a minute, and see what Graham's thoughts are on that, especially. But you know, and then some of the other stuff. So we said in the pre-show we didn't want to see a lot of mobile. We saw plenty of mobile. But I understand why now. After Todd Hart said what he said, like, they've had 120 million people play Fallout Shelter. That's massive. Of course they're going to continue doing that. So, you know, I think that we shouldn't get too caught up in the whole idea of, like, let's say, quote, real gamer. Like, if they get exposure to their franchises through mobile games, awesome. I'm not going to play it, but a lot of other people apparently are going to. So, I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was great. So, and yeah, like Twitch saying, like, the map glows in the dark. Like, what else do you want? We'll get to that. But,
okay.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not taking anything away. Pete Hines and Todd Howard were awesome. Okay, they were great. They were funny. They made perfect jokes. They had good timing. All of that. But the conference, like, what they were hyping it up to be, they didn't deliver anywhere near that. Okay, we expect certain things from certain people. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe it's not. But Bethesda's, like, hypes their show up, and then they don't deliver on it. Whereas, like, EA did not, and then actually, like, gave us, like, Unravel 2 out of nowhere, and then that cool thing after with Sea of Solitude. Yep. But, like, you can't tell me that Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 was, like, an amazing reveal when all they showed us was literally, like, a 10-second teaser trailer of games we already knew were coming.
Yeah.
Okay? Those don't fucking count, in my opinion.
No, it doesn't. And that's meant to kind of get, you know, people jazzed up at the end and whatever, but I'm with you. Like, that, it's there just to get people to cheer and get them excited, but we saw nothing of those games other than the titles, which we already knew. So, but yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on those because there's nothing to really talk about.
Yeah.
But I want to start with kind of the little stuff, get that out of the way, and we'll just kind of throw all these together in one. But they brought a lot of games up that came out last year or the year before or the year before that and talked about DLC or updates or new content and all that stuff. So we saw Elder Scrolls Online. We saw Prey. We saw Wolfenstein. And that's actually not an update. It's a brand new game. But what do you guys think of that? I mean, are you excited for a new Wolfenstein? And what do you think of the updates to the games that came out previously? The Prey one looked kind of cool. What do you think?
I'm not a huge Wolfenstein fan. I like I said before, I shootered out. So, but I know a lot of people will be because a lot of people are huge. I'm not taking anything away from the game. Wolfenstein's a good game. It's just not for me. I know a lot of people will be excited, and I'm glad they're getting more content for that. And same with Prey. I didn't like what I saw of Prey from what I watched, so I never really got around to playing it. But I think the stuff they showed was pretty cool looking, and I'm really interested in watching that, like, 5v1 mode, and especially since it's in VR. Like, I will watch people play that game, like, on Twitch and stuff. I will never play it, but I'll watch people play, and so that's cool. And I'm glad they're still supporting games even if they didn't get their typical, like, 9s and 10s.
Okay, fair enough. Graham, what do you think?
Well, first of all, that Prey DLC, the hide and seek VR, where you're basically a mimic and you can hide and disguise as any kind of object, and somebody walks around and tries to find someone. That in VR sounds like it'd be pretty freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
Which is awesome though if that's what people are going for. Did they say the whole game completed VR as well, the single player? I think
no,
right.
No, they said they had a single player mode.
Yeah, single player mode. Okay. So yeah, having Prey and Wolfenstein in VR, like, it's just adding to their list of Fallout and Skyrim and Doom. So it seems like they are going pretty deep into VR, and these are getting to be pretty hefty titles now to be on VR. So it's good to see that they're going to support what people want, and like it's kind of what the not new generation, but is kind of the next evolution of gaming, which
Sure.
might not be the main one, but it's still an evolution. So they are staying on top of that. As far as the ESO, that Elder Scrolls Online, it's awesome to see that they're still supporting that. Like they've been just getting a ton of DLC. Game looks great. I never got into it, but if I was into it, then I would be really excited for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's good to see that these games are still being supported. And Wolfenstein 2, the one Young Blood with the twins, I guess. That,
his twin daughters.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that sounds awesome. And it's a co-op experience, which it seems like there's a lot of co-op experience starting to like become more popular. So I think that game will work good with the lore and stuff like that. And
I think that's a game where co-op can work incredibly well. And you know, having it set in the 80s in Paris gives a little bit different setting and, you know, a little bit different world experience, and I think that's awesome. And I'm interested to see like how big of a game this truly is. Is it a full like AAA sequel in the Wolfenstein series? Is a little bit smaller, kind of one of those like side, you know, in between games.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what that turns out to be, but I'm a Wolfenstein fan, so I'm really, you know, interested to see more about this game and see what's out there. It looks cool, it looks fun, and, you know, getting to play with a different character isn't the worst thing in the world. So, that's kind of cool. So I want to kind of keep ramping up. Graham, we're going to talk about your thing at the last thing, okay?
Because I don't talk about my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable talking about my thing.
I don't want to peak too early here by getting into Fallout right away.
Todd Howard's calling you a bunch of degenerates.
Yeah, right.
You need a free hand.
So
after all, there, Graham.
So I want to get into Rage 2, and we saw the trailer. We saw a little bit of gameplay, actually a decent amount.
Yes.
Your thoughts on this? Like, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for it. I kind of want to get it. I want to play it, and you know, it does shooters pretty well. So, what do you think?
I mean, I wasn't excited going in, and then I watched the gameplay and the trailer, and I'm like, you know what? This could be a game I'd actually quite enjoy. You have it's not just a shooter. You have like the superpowers, and you can kill people in cool ways, and it kind of reminded me a little of Bulletstorm. I don't know if you guys ever played that game. I liked that game quite a lot. I didn't think it was worth the price of admission, but it was still a fun game, and the creativity and the ways to kill people was awesome. And it kind of gave me a little bit of flashbacks to that. I never played the first Rage, but I'm going to go watch a playthrough of that so before the second one comes out. I'm excited for Rage 2. I hope it's co-op. I don't know if they mentioned anything about that. I don't think they did. But I would like to play with you guys.
Yeah, they didn't, and I was specifically looking for that. They did not mention anything about co-op, and we know that this game's coming next year. Yes. So, it's in 2019. We didn't get, like, a concrete date, but it's coming.
It said spring 2019.
Yeah, spring. So, we got the window, but not, like, a concrete date. So, Graham, what do you think? Are you interested at all in this?
Oh, this game looks fun as hell. Like, and I use hell because you can just like create hell and destroy stuff and like monsters, and there's rock and roll or music. Like they came out with Andrew WK just rocking it up, which is definitely the theme of the game, where it's like cars and like firepower and explosions and attitude. And no, this game looks fun as hell, and I'm curious too about the whole co-op thing. It didn't show anything that made me think that it's co-op. But either way, it looks fun as hell. It's single player on whatever. Like we'll get more details as we get closer to it. But overall, yeah, the game looked fun. The vehicles, the guns looked amazing. Lots of different types of guns, a variety of enemies. So, yeah, that game just screamed fun for me, and I'm all in on that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. And the world reminds you a little bit of like Mad Max type stuff.
Yeah,
a little bit, and that's cool. So I'm all for that. But I'm pretty excited to see what this game has to offer. And I'm like you, Steve. I kind of want to go watch some playthrough of the first one because I never played the first one.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, this wasn't a game that I think was on many people's radar for a sequel, but neither were some other games that Bethesda's given to us in the past few years. So, and they've all turned out pretty well. So I'm pretty excited to see what they have to offer and bring. And one other thing I kind of want to point out, like, I have a couple screens going here, and one's on like our own Twitch channel, and then another one where we're like watching the conference and all that stuff. And man, there were some moments in this conference tonight that were kind of awkward. I think we'd all agree on that. But man, some of the stuff that gets said, like, imagine what it's like. Like, this is the biggest moment of the year for you if you're a developer, if you're a game developer, and then all of a sudden you're like, we're going to put you on stage and have you introduce this, and talk about this in front of not only this packed auditorium, but, hundreds of thousands, if not more, people watching live via stream. And that can make a lot of people really nervous. And man, some of the stuff I saw in one of the other streams where we watched live, like, I had to turn chat off. Like, it's bad. And give them a little slack. Like, there were some awkward moments, especially with like Rage 2 was a little awkward. It almost looked like the prompter died or something for a second.
Yeah.
But they were like so nervous, but that's okay. Nervous means that they legit give a shit about their game. And this is a big deal for them. So I don't know. I liked it yesterday when we saw EA and their guy get up there, and the crowd really kind of helped him through and supported him through. And then the main person for Sea of Solitude, same deal, and the crowd really helped through that. Like, that's like really cool stuff about gaming, and it's what E3 should celebrate, stuff like that. But yeah, there were some awkward moments, guys. Did it affect the quality of the show for you at all?
No. The awkward moments are not the reason. Like, to be honest, the awkward moments make you feel more human. And that's some of the issues some of the other developers have. And that's why I really did gravitate towards, like, the Rage 2 guy. Like, I felt so bad for that dude because I'd have been the same damn way up on stage, if not way worse. And then, like, the woman last night from Sea of Solitude, like, that's awesome. And it makes these developers feel human. And then, Todd Howard, and it kind of sucks, though, for the people at the Bethesda conference, because, like, Todd Howard's and Pete Hines come out so comfortable, cracking jokes left and right that actually, like, flow smooth, and then these guys are coming out, and, like, the Prey people, that was a little awkward, and the Rage guy. You feel bad because it's so black and white, like, different levels of comfort.
Really, it was almost good, because usually the king of awkward is Ubisoft. So they're almost like getting us ready for tomorrow. But I'm with you. Like, it's human. Like, that's natural when you're in that environment in front of that type of crowd. These people develop these games and all that stuff, but they're not the face of the game normally. Like, Todd Howard and Pete Hines are the face of Bethesda.
Yeah.
So, and they're pros. Like, Todd Howard has one of the most quick wits probably in the gaming industry. Like, he's so good at it. And, when he comes on stage, it's just great every time. But, yeah, I didn't think it hurt it. I've seen it hurt it before. Not with Bethesda, with other ones. But, especially, like, the host. Like, back when Aisha Tyler hosted Ubisoft. Like, that, man. Yeah, that would get a little rough sometimes. So,
time.
Yeah. But I didn't think this was anything. I mean, plus Aisha Tyler is a, professional actress, right? And these developers are not professional performers. They are not used to being on stage in front of a ton of people, right? And yeah, so kind of a little slack, I guess. But the games that they showed off look good. Yeah, go ahead, Graham.
On a later note, when they done the Elder Scrolls 6, I used quotation marks with Alexa.
Yeah, so that was
damn
great.
Funny.
So, well, Skyrim, right? He was like, where's Skyrim going next? That's like the pressing question you all have, right? Because they put out Skyrim on everything, and that's been a huge announcement. Like, Skyrim's now on this, right?
Yeah.
So, now it's like...
I'm sure the video's on YouTube. You definitely need to go check it out. If you type in Keegan-Michael Key, like, or Skyrim and Alexa, you'll find it.
Yes.
Okay? It was hilarious, and I'm not going to lie, like, I'd buy that. It's like one of those, like... text-based games like Zork. Or that was the name of it, right? Like one of the first games ever on a PC where you like attack the dragon. Oh, the dragon kills you.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that next time.
No,
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
That was hilarious.
That was me and Graham were dying.
Yeah. And you guys were laughing so hard I couldn't hear what was being said, so I have to go watch it again. But then at the end he's like playing on the screen on his refrigerator, and stuff like that. It's just, it was funny, it was tongue in cheek, and it was making fun of themselves. And I think that's a good thing. I think more developers should do that. Some of these shows, they take themselves way too seriously sometimes, and Bethesda's really good about not doing that. So props to them for that. Kudos. But yeah, absolutely, Graham. That was one of the best moments of the show. Sad, like in a great way and a kind of a sad way. But
yeah.
So let's talk about Doom. So we're getting Doom Eternal, and again, we kind of speculated before on the pre-show, like, do you think we might see Doom here? And we were kind of like, probably not. But there it was. And again, not coming out really soon. It's not coming out this year. But are we excited to play a sequel to Doom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, well, not really. I'm not. I'm excited to watch someone else play Doom.
and it's because you don't like the scary stuff, right? It's not because you don't like the game.
So, yeah, no. Doom's cool, and I actually played a lot of the multiplayer. I just didn't play through much of the campaign.
Okay.
And I will watch someone play that, and I'll buy it and try to give it a go. But I just don't like scary games. I get too scared. I have a heart condition. I don't, but that's what I'll go with.
So, Graham, what do you think?
Well, I think, I never played the first one. I do own it for the PS4 that I acquired when I bought the system. I didn't buy it specifically for that game. But I've heard good things about it, and it does seem like my type of game. I just haven't jumped into it. This game may be the one that I do jump in to play it. But yeah, no, it's fun. Like, and the way they describe it, they make it sound really interesting, and hell on earth and monsters. Because like I played Doom way back in the PC days when you would put in these codes where you can walk through the walls and then you get stuck inside the walls because you're gone too far. But there's a lot of shooters out there, so it's not like one of my top ones or ones that I would go to.
Sure.
But I would definitely try it out if I could, without making the investment. Unless it gets good reviews, then I might get it. But no, it looks awesome though.
Yeah, it does. Graham, I think that's the type of shooter you might actually really like. Graham's not normally into shooters too much, especially online. But you do like Battlefield though, so that's cool.
I do like Battlefield.
Yeah, but I think this is one you might like. I mean, it's from a publisher that you're a big fan of. They make a great game. The environment's really cool. And I don't know. I think you might get into that. So maybe give it a shot. Think about it.
Maybe. I will. I promise.
All right. So we've kind of hit on most of the big stuff. Is there anything else we want to hit on before we get to Fallout?
Well, we can talk about the Elder Scrolls Legends and Fallout Shelter.
Sure.
Just a couple of minor
ones. Go ahead, Graham.
So yeah, like I didn't realize this, but there was no Fallout Shelter for PS4. It was only
it was only on Xbox for console.
iOS devices, and then it came to Xbox. So it could be a little late into the game, but if some people are still getting to Fallout, and it's free, so you don't have anything to lose. And another thing is, it is coming to the Switch, Nintendo Switch. And I think this game is built for the Nintendo Switch. Like, it's not like graphically demanding. It's basically you got a vault and you just you build other vaults, and some are for electricity and stuff like that. But then they have the quests where you go out where they kind of made it more extensive. But yeah, this game free on this Nintendo Switch. I will download this for sure. And then they were talking about their card-based game, Elder Scrolls Legends. Now I don't know if you guys are a fan of that kind of stuff, but I was playing Hearthstone or whatever. And I really enjoyed those games. But if you guys if those types of card games appeal to you, then I would say that game would be worth checking out. I think that one's free as well, so nothing wrong with trying out anything for free. And it's for iPad, and I think it's just mobile, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Now.
Yeah, it's just mobile for now.
Yeah. So do you guys have any interest in either one of those games?
No, not really. Not for me, but I get that there's a huge audience that loves them. So great for those people that, more people get to play games. So that's great. Steve?
I'm with Tyler. I mean, I'll maybe check out Legends, probably not. I don't know. If I had to go to a card game, it'd be Gwent over any of the other ones. But it's cool that, I'm glad that more people get an opportunity to play it. I'm sure Fallout Shelter will do well on the Switch mobile. Yes. And maybe even Legends. But I feel like Legends better on the phone because your phone's always connected to the internet, whereas the Switch isn't. So I don't know.
Okay. So let's move to the main course here. The big game that came out. We saw a bit of it earlier today with Microsoft. Fallout 76. So we learned that it is it's 4 times larger than Fallout 4. And that probably should have tipped us off a little bit. But I think we're also excited to hear that. That we're like, oh, it's like a mainline game. And it kind of is. And I think it actually is. But, Graham, we heard tonight that it's online only. And you're going to be in a shared world. Does that concern you at all? Does it turn you off at all from playing the game? And if not, why?
It definitely doesn't make me as excited as a Fallout 4 type game where it's just me single player. Because I like doing things at my own pace and doing my own thing, and like I'm more like that. Like I'm not like run and gun and fast and let's go here and let's go here, let's go here. I'm like, well, I just might just go over here. I might just go over here. But I don't know. Like it's tough to say. If I play with the right people, I think it could be a great experience. I don't know how many people you can have at once. Like I think they showed like up to 3 others, and they said there's like 76 people. They call it Fallout 76, and there's like 76 people in there or something like that. So it's not like people everywhere. So I'm not quite sure. Like I'm going to sign up for the beta.
No, he basically said you're going to be with like a dozen other people.
Yeah, I didn't hear 76. Yeah, he just said it wasn't going to be like 1,000.
Yeah.
Or even hundreds.
Yeah.
He said a few.
And the way he sort of justified that was saying like, hey, it's, the apocalypse, it's not incredibly populated,
Yeah.
It's the wasteland. So, but I don't know, like it looked like they're trying to protect the single player experience if you want to do it that way.
Yes.
But then they talked about being able to go to like these nuclear silos.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And Steve, I want to go to you here because this I know worried you a little bit. We'll come back to Graham.
This was kind of like what ruined the conference for me a little bit. It was like a up and down. It was like a fucking roller coaster ride of emotions during this whole little 20-minute Fallout 76 segment. So like they were like always online. I was like, ugh. And then they were like, but you could play by yourself and you're not playing with a lot of other people. And then I'm like, okay, that sounds a little better. And then they were like, well, there's gonna be like nuke sites. And then I'm like, ugh, again. And I remember Plasmid, I hope you're still watching on Twitch. He made a comment along the lines of like, so like a really good like 4-man team can just go to these nuke sites and then troll like a person playing solo. And that's the kind of stuff that just turns me off. I hate those games because I don't understand why developers don't get that that's how these games end up going. Every single like online game, survival game like this always ends up with people trolling the little guys.
Well, let's look at the most recent example, Steve, which is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Rare talked forever about how, you get to play with all these other people and work together. No. These other people just come and, like, try to sink your ship left and right. and just troll you, and not just once. Like, not just once to get your loot, right? I would understand that. But then as you respawn and you go back out, they come and find you again and do it again. Ha ha ha! Yay! It's fun. And that ruined the game for a lot of people. So I'm worried that that element's going to come in to Fallout 76. And Graham, I'm really like, I'm not so worried for me. This isn't one of my favorite franchises, but it is like right up there for you. Like, I think this and Zelda are your two, right? So, I don't want it to ruin that for you and other people that are like so into Fallout just because, you know, honestly, D-bags go and like ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, well, the fact that it has the solo aspect, so that might be something that I'll just venture in more, just like, okay, I know how people are, or I don't want to deal with people. So I'm just wondering how the whole solo thing happens. And because it's online all the time, but then it's solo, so I'm not quite sure. I need more details. And I don't know I'm going to get
that just means you can play by yourself.
Yeah,
but there's going to be other people in the world.
Anything about playing solo and not having to interact with other people. This game, he said, it's always online, and you don't have to worry about servers, which means that there's no PvE option either, or at least it implies that. And so it means there's always the chance you're going to run across that group that just loves being dicks. And that really turns me off to this game a lot.
Well, the other thing, too, is they're trying to get you to play with a group of friends, right? And that's great. Like, so many games are going that route now. But, Graham, like you said, that could also affect the experience for you. Because you like to just go take your time and have a good time, right? Whereas Steve, on the other hand, you like to just get A to B as quickly as possible and get it done, right?
Yes.
And those styles, like, that's going to affect, like, Graham's experience or yours, depending on which one we go with. And then I'm like, whatever, we'll just do whatever. I don't care. But that's going to affect people's experiences with the game. And, like, for people who are so excited for another Fallout experience, like Graham and so many other listeners out there, I'm sure, like, I worry about that for them. And I think we're probably worrying too much. But you never know. And usually these online-only experiences really struggle to find a balance in the first year. I mean, Graham, any concern because of that?
There is some concern. I'm thinking, if worst case, if I don't like it and I want a Fallout experience, I'll go back to Fallout 4. But I don't know. It's Bethesda, and I feel like I have faith in them, and they'll figure it out or they'll do it right. But I am kind of hesitant, and a little bit of it does worry me. But I don't know. Maybe I just got to find the right people online and come up. And the funny thing, like, they were talking about you being nuked or something like that is like no big deal. It's like, oh, I got nuked, so let's do this. So I'm just wondering how that all plays out. So I don't want to get too much speculation until I know more. But I am a bit worried. But I'm still going to buy the collector's edition if you're wondering.
That was going to be like one of my next questions. But go ahead, Steve. You sound like you were going to say something.
Yeah, the one thing that saves this game was he did mention if you die, you don't lose any progress. You don't have to worry about, like, switching servers or nothing. So it sounds like if you die, it's just no big deal. You don't lose your gear and then have to start all the way over crafting the freaking spear to craft the bow to craft the gun like you do in, like, Ark. So that is nice. And that's the one little thing that keeps me from worrying too much about the trolling, because DayZ and Rust and Ark, like, you die, you have to start basically from scratch. Yeah. Sea of Thieves, not so much, and you did bring up a good point, and you just lose whatever mission progress you're on, and that could be a little annoying and frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're not losing anything really monumental in Fallout.
Yeah.
But it still sucks, man, to have those people come up that just repeatedly want to kill you just to do it.
Yes, and there will be those in Fallout. That's not even a question.
Yeah, it's not.
It's guaranteed.
That's going to happen.
Yep.
And it's going to ruin the experience for people, honestly, like Graham, who just look forward to these games so much. And I don't want to see that happen. So I hope Bethesda has something in mind to kind of combat that. You know? But we'll see. So, Graham, what else on Fallout 76? Anything else you want to touch on there?
Nothing really. Like, they show, like, the whole building and stuff like that. Like, I know that stuff's going to be cool. And, like, are they going to destroy what you built and then you got to rebuild it? Because that would kind of suck. So.
Well, I think if your base gets hit with the nuclear missile, I'm pretty sure it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does the servers get it saved? Graham has a good question though. Like, is the server saved? Like, are you always on the same server?
No, he said, Todd Howard said, like, it'll carry your stuff with you from experience to experience, and he said you'll never even really know you're on a server. You're never going to see a server.
Okay.
Or anything like that. So he did kind of clarify that a little bit.
That made me think that your own inventory goes with you, not necessarily your base. But I wonder if it's a case of, like, you get one base, and that base will go. But then all this leads to kind of speculation, because if you're tied to one base and you're located in one spot, like, let's say you get put on, like, a server, even though you don't actually see the server, and there's another base in that same spot. Like, what do they do there?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. And that's why I think we need to sign up for the beta, so we can kind of understand that. So, I think we'll all do that. I don't see us not doing that. I know Graham's probably signed up for it already.
Well, I've been trying, but it's been a bit of a struggle, to be honest with you.
Graham, have you searched yet to see if you can get the Super Ultimate $5,000 edition yet?
Not yet. I
will
go later tonight because I'm always afraid they're going to be gone. So I'm like, I gotta get one right away.
Well, I remember you had the Pip-Boy edition pre-ordered like the day it was announced. So, and that's awesome. Like, I love that you're so excited for it. It's really cool. Like, we make fun of you, but it's awesome. Like, because if Halo 6 was coming this year, or Halo Infinite or whatever, like, I would be in the same boat, Graham. I would. So, I get it.
It's alright. I don't take offense.
Well, don't take offense. I'm honestly happy that you're getting something you're super excited for.
Yeah,
I just hope the way the game's structured doesn't ruin it for you. So, that's where I'm at. Steve, anything else on Fallout 76?
No, I mean, I'm hesitantly excited. I'm still worried about this because it does have the capabilities of, like, ruining the game. But if there's one person I kind of trust to maybe do this right, it's Rockstar. Oh, wait. I'm just kidding. No, I trust Bethesda. Yeah. Like, I'll buy this game. Hesitantly so, but I will be buying it.
Well, I don't trust necessarily that it's going to be 100% right at launch, but I trust that they're going to support it in a way that's going to correct any issues that exist and take care of it.
Well, that's like what you said about the beta, right? You're just going to break it and destroy it, and they'll figure it out and they'll make it better.
Yeah, but those betas are there to test the servers more than anything, especially so close to release, because we haven't mentioned yet, we're getting Fallout 76 on November 14th of this year. So it's coming, and it's not that far away. So I don't think any beta at this point, unless it's like next week, is going to be something where they can go in and like rewrite a lot of code to change some stuff. But I think it's more there to just test the servers and make sure that the servers can handle the traffic and handle the game in an always online state, because the worst thing you can have happen in an always online game is have the servers crash on like release day, like happened to Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like this is going to be mostly, the beta will be to test like the multiplayer aspects, and bug fixing, not like rewriting code. Because you can change like how you deal with other players. And like I said, I would rather see multiplayer specific zones or servers, even though they said there's no servers, than it everywhere. But that's personal preference.
They didn't say there's no servers. They said that we won't ever see them.
So
That's the
I hope
difference.
you just get to choose the option of PvE or PvP at the beginning.
I don't think that'll be the case. I think
I know
it's an
it-
always
I
online.
know
It's an
it
always
won't.
online game, so you're in an online world with other people.
Yeah,
That's just
but
what it's gonna be.
PvE. Yeah, but every MMO game has a PvE server where
Okay.
you literally can only do PvP in specific zones. Like
Okay.
that's been the thing since like WoW has been invented. You haven't had you've never been forced to do PvE until these games started to come to console. And even like Destiny, you don't have to do PvP except if you like join the PvP matchmaking.
Yeah.
Like, so I prefer PvE. Players tend to do douchey things, and I just always. I was
Yeah,
being
pretty
nice.
much. Yeah, it's really rare you come across a random player in a game now that is just cool and waves at you or whatever. And if they wave at you, it's usually to get your guard down so they can like they're gonna kill you. But
Yes.
whatever. In Twitch chat, DC52 says November 14th, the day Graham quits his job. That's probably not totally inaccurate.
I don't really like my job. No, I'm kidding.
So, what else on Fallout 76, guys? Anything else?
Nothing.
So I just want to clear, like from my standpoint anyway, it might seem like we're being a little negative on Bethesda tonight. I really don't think it was a bad conference. They've set the bar so high for themselves that, it came off as maybe a little flat. And they didn't have a lot of big titles. I think we all convinced ourselves that we were going to see Elder Scrolls 6 for this year. And then that didn't happen, and that's our fault for convincing ourselves of something that they never, ever, ever promised to us. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably a lot to blame for my own negativity here, but still. Okay,
Yeah.
you hyped it up, and then
Yeah.
don't get me hyped. This is what happens. Don't get me hyped.
So I'm going to say this, though, and let's kind of wrap up with a couple general questions. So, today, first day of the show that we see two conferences, which one was the better one, Microsoft or Bethesda?
Oh, that's not even a question.
Well, I want to go to Graham first, because,
No, out of the two, I would say Microsoft.
Yeah.
And even me being a big Fallout fan, like they announced Fallout 76 on the Microsoft stage, so I got a little bit of Bethesda in that as well. So
Yeah.
Microsoft definitely wins that one.
Yeah, and well, they didn't announce it, but they showed it, right? And we got to see the trailer and a little bit of info on it, but they saved the release date for tonight and some of the gameplay and that good stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Steve, go ahead. I know what you're going to say.
Bethesda. No, Microsoft. Not even close. Microsoft blew it out of the water. Bethesda just gave us an average show.
Yep, and I think I agree with you, Steve. And here's the thing: like the Bethesda conference tonight, it wasn't bad, but it really amplified to me how good Microsoft was earlier today. Because like Bethesda had a good conference, Microsoft was holy shit good. Like they did everything they needed to do.
Yes.
And honestly, and then some. So there were a couple things we would have liked to have seen from them that we didn't see, but that's on us, right? We're inventing expectations in our own heads.
Well,
But we do.
both of the conferences had some things. Well, Bethesda had more expectations invented than Microsoft. I did feel like Fable was almost guaranteed, and the fact that it didn't happen was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Bethesda, The Elder Scrolls 6 was a pipe dream.
Yeah.
But I was a hopeful pipe dream.
Well, and I at least like convinced myself that the Sunset Overdrive 2 rumor was not going to happen, so I wasn't expecting that, so I wasn't disappointed. And then yesterday we all kind of came up with the idea of like, well, maybe we could see like the EA Access premiere thing, but that didn't happen either. So, I don't want any of that to take away from what Microsoft did today. I thought they were fantastic, and I thought Bethesda was pretty good. So, and by the way, it's pronounced Bethesda, not Bethesda, as if you listen to years past, you might be confused. So let's grade this one out, guys. 8F scale. What do you give Bethesda tonight?
All right, I guess I will go. I'm gonna go with a B.
Okay. Steve?
I'll give it a B as well. I feel like B- is a little harsh, but I kind of do say B-. I don't know. It's an 82.99 and rounded up. Okay, I'm that teacher. So technically it's a B-, but they did just enough to round up to a B. There's my answer.
Yeah, I should have gone first, Steve. You probably would have felt more empowered. Because I'm gonna say it's a B-, and I don't want to be like negative Nelly here, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna say B-. I like the Fallout stuff. I want to see them address how they're going to overcome some of the concerns that we have. But I like the Fallout stuff overall. I like seeing another Doom game. I like seeing another Wolfenstein game. All that is awesome. But I thought we spent too much time on maybe some of the mobile stuff. I thought we spent too much time. Anytime there's like a musical performance on stage here, it generally doesn't work out well. I'm not even saying it was bad. It's just, why was it there?
Yeah.
And Sony's done this in the past, and it's just like, really? Like, they started with one a couple years ago, and I was like, why? But, yeah, I don't know. Some of the other stuff I saw just didn't get me really excited, and I still, for everybody, it was almost a troll showing Elder Scrolls 6 at the end when everybody had their hopes up so high for it. To just show like a 10-second snippet of the world and the title, and there you go. I almost felt like it was a little bit of a troll. And same with Starfield, like everybody really wanted to see that. So, I think next year we're going to see a lot of those things, both of those games, and I see Bethesda being back in form next year. So, but a B-, and the B- is not bad because it gets you on the honor roll, I guess.
No,
so, but Steve, do we have any questions?
We do not.
Okay, so we had a bunch of questions for Bethesda for the pre-show, which is awesome. So we talked about who kind of wins the day. That was Microsoft. We graded up Bethesda. Any parting words, guys, before we get out of here?
I do kind of want to go play Fallout 4 after watching Fallout 76.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one cool thing that they did, I guess.
I'd like to say, if you play Fallout 76, don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a
also
dick.
that.
And, hey, with our community, chance to get together with some people that aren't going to be like that and go play. Just saying. So,
I'll be signed up to the beta. If they sign up to the beta, I'd be more than happy to play with them.
Yep.
That's true. If we get a server wide of like 100 players, then that's 100 people that won't be dicks. And that's like the max on the server. So there we go.
That's awesome. So on that note of community, if you'd like to join our community, if you're listening to us maybe for the first time, head on over to Facebook, the Gaming Hub forums there. I've seen a lot of growth there since E3 started. That is awesome. So thank you to everybody who has come in and joined. You can also head on right here to Twitch. So TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. Seeing some pretty good growth here since E3 started as well. And when you're on Twitch, right on our screen, right below the screen where the video is, you'll see a link to Discord. You can join there. You'll see other links as well to join in our community and take part. And if you listen to us and you're like, hey, these guys are awesome, I'd love to, support them, help us do more with what we're doing here. We'd love to do additional shows every week. We'd love to have more kind of community hangouts like we do during E3, things like that. There's a couple ways to do that. On Twitch, you can sub to us. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch sub every single month to use. So if you choose to use it, that for us, we'd really appreciate it. And if not, use it on your favorite streamer. Support somebody, right? And then also there's Patreon. You can head over to patreon.com/gaminghub to take a look there. And for as little as $2 every month, you can really help support us and help us do some awesome things here. We'd really appreciate that. If you want some cool gear, head on over to teespring.com/gaminghub and take a look at what we have there. Anything that you purchase, part of that goes to help supporting the show and helping us do more cool giveaways and stuff like that, which Steve is going to do right now for Bethesda, $25 Xbox gift card. And who is the lucky winner, Steven?
The lucky winner is Chris. I hope I pronounced this right. Chris Hayema. Awesome. Dilemma. It's one of those two pronunciations, probably. Okay. On Facebook. So, send us a message and claim a prize.
Awesome.
And
yeah, go ahead.
And
Steve.
real quick before you go, like I just was thinking, Fallout 4 and more importantly, Elder Scrolls Online got added to the Xbox Game Pass today.
Yes.
In the Microsoft conference. So if you're looking to get into Elder Scrolls Online, I'm sure there'll be other people in our communities that are also looking to get in, and maybe you guys could team up and do a playthrough together or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Anything else, Graham, before we go?
No, that's it. Like I said, sign up for that beta and let me know on Discord or Facebook or whatever medium.
All right. Let's get out of here, guys. It's been a fun day. Our E3 coverage is going to continue tomorrow with Ubisoft. We'll have a pre-show for Ubisoft and then a post-show where we'll discuss both Ubisoft and Square Enix. And then tomorrow night, Sony goes, and we'll have a pre-show a half hour before that starts. And we'll carry both conferences right here on our Twitch channel and with a post-show afterward for each one. So for Graham and Steve, I'm Tyler saying thank you so much for joining us for episode number 103. We'll be back tomorrow with our continuing E3 coverage for 2018. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Play some cool games, and we'll talk to you soon.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Happy gaming. See you bright and early.